everyone. Welcome to Basement Talks with the Learning Vibes podcast co-hosts. I'm Annie, and I'm here with my co-host Dave, and we are very excited for you to join in on another Basement Talk. We have done many of these so far, so if this is the first one, please make sure to go to our YouTube page and find some more. But Dave, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and today we're talking about purging and giving, which I'm excited about. There's something about the word purging that just excites me, so I'm anxious to hear what you have to say on these topics. But everyone, you can find us on the internet at www.learningvibespodcast.weebly.com. Our email address is learningvibespodcast@gmail.com. You can check out the current episode of the Learning Vibes podcast most anywhere that you get podcasts, but there is a link on our website to the most recent episodes. So I hope you will check all that out, as well as liking this YouTube channel and maybe going back and checking out some past basement talks. So Annie, purging and giving, yeah?
Yes. So this topic came up when Dave and I were planning because we both have been engaged in purging of household items. So as we are both sheltering in place and working from home, as I know I've heard many other acquaintances say, like they're seeing things that they always have seen, but now they have time to do something with it. And so some of the endeavors that we've taken over in our house is cleaning out my kids' closets. And so if you have kids who are in those growth spurts, you know, my son has grown 7 inches in a year. So it's just like, he has a completely new wardrobe. My stepdaughters are the same way. So we took a weekend and we purged their closets, and then we saw we needed to buy more. But when we purged, we gave it away. And so we gave it to some family friends who were on some tougher times because they lost jobs during COVID-19. We gave some to Goodwill. We gave some to Salvation Army and any kind of other community organization. So I feel like that's a really great way to purge during this time. What I have found is that we are acquiring things, but I feel like we're acquiring things with a purpose. So we're not just getting knick-knacky things to entertain, but we're getting them because we find a need for them. And so that's something that I think has kind of sparked my own creativity to say, like, oh, we need this need. How can I research to find out what is going to suffice that need? As I said in another basement talk, we bought a kayak. It's a blow-up kayak, so we can fit it in our small car, but that sufficed a need. We had the need to be outdoors more, especially when we can't travel as much, and so that was something that we bought, and we might not have bought if we weren't purging everything out of our house and realizing things that we needed. But then on the other side, there's also the idea of giving. So my husband and I have the benefit, are privileged enough to still be employed during COVID-19, and I know not all families are. And so when we realized that we were still both going to be having the same income, it was just going to be that I'm sitting at home doing my work rather than being at an office, we decided to donate our stimulus check because a stimulus check wasn't something that we necessarily needed. And so we have been not only purging in our house, but we've also been thinking about really focused giving. And so we have decided on specific community agencies that are basically doing meals. So local restaurants who are providing meals to community agencies. And so it's kind of benefiting both of them. We're helping the local business, and then we're also helping by giving food to families in need. And so we are in the process of giving also not only the things that we're purging, that might be kind of second or third hand to someone else, but also really diving into how can we take this time to really think about how to help our community. And so that has really dove into our creativity and researching and thinking and keeping our minds active, which I know is something that sometimes can be hard while we're sheltering in place. Dave, have you experienced some of this giving and purging during this time?
You know, I have, Annie. Thanks to the hard work of my wife, we just yesterday had the American Red Cross truck in our front yard taking away stuff that my wife has gone through. And, I'm so glad you mentioned the connection to creativity, and to tie it back to the mission of our podcast and what we're doing here of learning, artistry, creativity. What I've even found in having spaces in our home a little bit purged is that my thinking when I go into those spaces is shaped and changed. And so it also has benefits cognitively in the way we see what is left. And also, I think a lot of us, me included, Annie, we grew up in such a capitalist society that we identified with our stuff, right? It is stuff that made us what we were. And I think as we realize that we can be generous and give it to others, give it to charities, separate from it, it helps us re-see ourselves as well.